taking a look at my stock configuration here. I have a center stand, and there's a stop. I don't know if I can get the camera in here, but there's a stop right here, which is welded onto the original pipe, or what I think is the original pipe anyway. And then there's another stop here, which is for the side stand. Now, that's the stock configuration. If I look over here on the new D&D mufflers, there's a bracket for the side stand, but obviously nothing for the center stand. So I'm not quite sure how I'm going to deal with that, but I guess we'll figure that out when we come to it. The bolt here that holds the peg on also holds the bracket for the muffler, and that's a 12mm wrench. So I'm just going to loosen that up and get that out of our way. Underneath the exhaust right here is a clamp. That's a 6mm Allen wrench, which I'll now loosen. Alright, with those two things loosened, with this bolt from the peg gone and this clamp loosened, the muffler slides right off and it just leaves you a straight pipe here. You can see the center stand better here. Just have a rag jammed in there right now just to hold it. But looking at the original, or what I think is the original anyway, there was two brackets, one for the side stand and this one here for the center stand. I don't know if this was original or not, or if somebody did this, but it was a nice arrangement. Unfortunately, my new muffler doesn't have that from D&D, so I'm going to have to figure out some way to hold that center stand from hitting. So the bracket for the muffler is reused. That's a number 5mm Allen. So I'll remove those two, and when I put it back in, I'll use thread locker to keep those things solid. They give you a spacer, as shown here, which, according to the directions, goes on the inside of the left mount between the frame support and the muffler mount. So I basically, I guess they just a little bit off on their alignment, and this corrects that. So I guess we'll find out. Now here on the exhaust pipe where it stops, where the muffler attaches, I'll be using, if I can get this off the sun, this RTV adhesive, or silicone I should say, to seal that. But before I do that, I just want to do a dry fit of this muffler and just make sure our alignment's going to look good. Alright, this is our little spacer, which looks like it's going to be a pain to get in here, but that would go in there. Let's just see how this would align. A little tight, but I think we're going to make it. Okay, that went fairly easy. I couldn't do it with the camera on, but the peg, make sure you insert it the right way so it flips up. I put that spacer in there. I put the peg in first just to hold the spacer on the bolt, and then slip the muffler in. Now I just got to tighten this down here, and that'll clean off that excess silicone coming out. Alright, so getting the muffler on is pretty easy. But now I have this center stand problem. Here's my center stand. And, you know, as it swings up, it would come up and hit the muffler, of course. So I need to make a stop for that. I don't know if I can see this with the camera, but go underneath here. Here's the stop for the side stand. And I'm thinking maybe I can somehow extend that to catch this arm here. Or I guess the other option would be to, you know, just put some rubber or felt or something here and let it rest against the muffler, but I'm not crazy about that idea. So I'm going to see if I can extend that stop, and I'm making this up as I go along, so we'll see what happens next. While I'm thinking about this whole center stand problem, I just wanted to show you the difference now that I have the left side mounted with the D&D and the right side is what I think is stock. You can really see the difference well, as far as the hole opening for the exhaust, but also the way the mufflers sit. The stock ones seem to come out a little bit more, and the D&D are a little bit higher to start with, and also they come in towards the tire more. So I think it's a nicer profile. Here's another interesting thing. On the stock muffler, you know, you can look through this and you'll see nothing. On the D&D, I don't know if I can show you this with the camera, but you can actually see daylight through the other side. So there's like nothing in these things. It's almost a straight pipe. All right, let me catch you up where I am here. I'm trying to find a way to make some kind of bracket for the center stand, and I looked at all the metal I had lying around. This is a, I happen to be a carpenter, so this is a Tico, or actually a Simpson product. It's called a TA9Z. You can buy it at Home Depot or Lowe's or something. And it's meant for holding, you know, decks together for connecting pieces of lumber. It's thicker than you might normally find in hangers. So I took a piece of this and I cut it in the middle. I noticed this tab could be bent maybe to hold the center stand, and I think this may be something that's going to work. Let me show you underneath what that looks like. I don't know if the camera's going to show this, but basically here's the D&D bracket, and my intent is to bolt through this new one that I'm making so that it fits like this, and then this little tab right here will stop the center stand from hitting anything. Okay, here's my final version of the bracket. I made one that I didn't like and I had to change it, but basically this bolt goes through the existing bracket on the muffler. What I did was I bent this little tab up right here so that this can't spin. Otherwise it's just one bolt on there and it could potentially loosen and spin and hit the tire or something else. I also shortened this up a little bit because I was afraid of it, you know, breaking off and hitting a tire at some point. So this little felt piece catches the side stand. This little piece here catches the center stand. And if you look at this angle, it's just bent out. And I painted it. It's just that same piece of angle that I had from before that I was showing you. So then all you need is one washer that goes in the middle of the hole on the muffler bracket just to keep this thing from sliding in that larger hole. Then a washer on top, and I'm going to double nut it so that it can't come loose, hopefully. So that's my finished product. I'm going to put it on. Okay, here's the new bracket installed. That's the top. You see I have a double nut there, which is tightened one against the other, hopefully to keep it from loose. And here's underneath. We got this pad here will catch the side stand, and this little pad here is catching the center stand. Here's the center stand. So I think it's going to work. The center stand on the other side is clear of the chain, which I want to make sure of. And if this thing does fall off at any point, it's not going to hit the tire. It'll just fall off and hit the road, and that'll be the end of it. So we'll see what happens.